should we start the show?
Sure.
Well, then I will say, hello, everyone.
Oh my God.
Yes, welcome to the Stream Void Podcast, episode 168.
Oh, baby.
That's right. I am Mikey T, and of course, across from me is Curbstomp.
Hi.
You can find us everywhere under our respected monikers.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're listening to the Stream Void Podcast. This is a show about life and video games and everything in between.
Yes.
And speaking of that in-between stuff, stuff we don't enjoy the most.
No.
How was your week?
Oh, boy.
Your week of work.
Oh, boy. I mean, work.
You had a week?
I had a week.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Should I not have?
You should have.
Oh, okay. I did.
It could have been 5 days. I don't know.
It was.
Good.
Okay. It was fine. I worked at the warehouse and I worked in the store and I think it was whatever. It is what it is. The owner came up to me and we were talking about whatever, and I said I wanted to do this one thing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you should talk to the guy, whatever." And this is the guy I told about you, how he like texted me about the guy.
Yeah.
The YouTube video, like, this young man sure is talented. So I told that to my good friend in the office. So she must have said something to the owner, because I was saying like, oh, should I, basically what we had is we bought a whole closeout of clothes from this company, which we've been dealing with, and we're not finished. And then we're going to also order from this guy. He's the rep. And we're going to buy stuff from him. So I said, should I deal with this company, meaning the stuff we've already bought? And he's like, oh yeah, you should talk to him and set that up and blah, blah, blah. And I told the ladies in the office not to give out your cell phone. Like, I don't think you need to talk to these guys on your cell phone or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like, oh, she must have said something about what I said to him, because otherwise why would he say that? Right?
Yeah.
So that was a bit weird. But yeah, I just, worked in the warehouse. I was eating the same lunch every day at the warehouse for like months and months straight of frozen butter chicken and rice.
Classic lunch. Yeah.
But we're out of that. So I've been doing other things, and I was like, oh, I'll buy some cans of soup, like Chunky or whatever.
Yep.
So I have a bunch of those over there, and I go grab one. I'm like, oh, God damn it. It doesn't have a pull top on it. Then I'm like, what am I going to open this with? And
That's
I was
an
like,
old Chunky.
Huh?
That's an old Chunky. They've had pull tops on them for quite some time now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not old. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, these ones didn't have it. So I dug around. I'm like, oh, I found this old ass fucking can opener. And it was like dirty as shit. So I like washed it, cleaned it off. And I'm like opening the can, but it was like not working properly. So it like moved like a centimeter, and then it would just be like it was stripped. So I'd have to redo it. And I just was working at this for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, well, it's already punctured the can. I have to eat it now. Otherwise it's going in the trash.
Yeah.
So I finally got it halfway open, and I'm like bending the lid. Just trying to get my pea soap out of this can. Like, it was so bad.
You should grab the knife and McDundee'd it and just...
Yeah. I don't have any knife that I could find except like a butter knife or like an X-Acto knife. So I'd probably be working on it for a while.
X-Acto knife, you'd snap the blade off.
Yeah,
inside your
exactly.
soup
Or just like you'd have to work at it for like years and years, slowly cutting through it.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
The soup was good once I got it out, but...
Usually is.
Yeah, I was just like, this is so stupid. But it was all my fault for not looking at the cans when I bought them. So that sucked. But yeah, work was just
wild, eh?
So wild. So wild. No, it was just stupid. Next week, the tarps are coming in apparently, so that's going to suck.
Oh, tarp day.
But I'm not going to put them in the containers this time. I'm going to strictly unload the truck because I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll be crippled if I do it. So it should be fun. The young guys can put them in the container. I'll take them off the truck. That part's the easy part. Well, relatively easy.
I mean, you've got seniority. You should be able to let those boys know.
Oh, I'm not going to put them in the container. No. I don't care what they say. I'm not doing it. So anyways, other than that, that was pretty much it really for work. No, nothing really too crazy happened or anything. Thankfully.
Yeah. My work's in a hurry up and wait.
Oh, classic.
get all this stuff done. But then, we're not gonna. It's all dependent on our primary contractor that we're sub to.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, oh, get all these quotes in. So I get all the quotes in. They're like, oh, we got to review all this stuff first. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Like, we had an ad out to hire
Oh, yeah.
because we're gonna need some more people. So I interviewed a couple people on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we'll let you know.
Yeah. And by the time you let them know, it'll be like, no, I got a job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we're waiting. Hopefully, hear something this week about work in Vernon. Hopefully that comes through. That'll be good. Other than that, it's just been stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to keep up with everything, but also trying not to lose my mind.
Oh, yeah.
I brought a guy back to work who we had laid off a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm way too busy. I need you to come in. Come back to work. We'll get you working, and you can give me a hand with stuff.
Mhm.
And we got all that done. And now it's like, oh, the project's not ready to go yet. So now I need to find something for him to do.
Oh, fun.
So I got a little bit of a slap on the wrist from the boss in Vancouver, and like, you should have brought him back.
My bad.
My bad.
It seemed like I needed help.
Yeah, right. So now I'm like, now I gotta wait a while because there's a guy who I really want to bring on who has experience,
Mm-hmm.
but he I gotta wait like a while, and then I got old Neangelo wants to come back to work, and I'm like, oh man, get Neangelo back too, amazing. That would be good too, but I gotta wait. We gotta wait a little while now for these projects to be approved.
Jeez Louise.
We have to get a guy to do some scanning and coring of concrete, which is a risky move, right? Whenever you got to go through a concrete floor or a concrete wall, there's stuff behind it, and people who don't scan it properly, they just destroy infrastructure.
Yeah.
So the way our primary contractor has it done, it's like, oh, you have to get all this information from them, the WCB stuff, all this stuff. They have to come to a training with us. And I'm like, is anyone going to want to do that?
Yeah.
Like people who you guys don't already work with, who have already gone through the training, are they going to want to do all this extra hoop jumping just to do like a $400 coring job? Yeah,
no kidding.
Like, I don't know if they're going to want to do that, right? That's a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, they have to attend an online safety orientation with your company on a Thursday at this time.
It's weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
So what is it going to be like when you're taking your sample? Don't do it in the middle of the floor, or like, like what is it going to be?
Oh no, it's just general site safety orientation.
Oh, so it's stuff you've done 1,000 times anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that contractor is going to have to, like the scanning core guy is going to have to go through that. And it's just like
fun.
Yeah, it's just extra steps that they don't need to really do to operate their business.
Yeah.
But in order for them to do a $500 job, $400 job for me, I need them to do that. It's like, I don't think they're going to want to do that. Yeah. It's just not worth it, It's not worth their time to be able to do that.
No kidding.
But if I had a lot of scanning and coring jobs, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, then it would be worth it for them because they'd make more money. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a sticky situation.
Yeah, so sticky.
I know. I gotta call up these guys and be like, "Hey, I got a job for you, but you got to do all this bullshit first." And they'd be like, "Nah, it's all right."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe if they get paid to do the bullshit first too.
Yeah, right. So let's. That was essentially 9 to 5. On Sunday after the podcast last week, went to go look at a building.
Oh, right.
For the Game Hub. It's a nice 2,500 square foot.
Oh, yeah.
It has been freshly renovated by 2 different people.
Okay.
So there was a place I was going to go into the place there first, like a couple of years ago now, and they put in like 20 grand in renovations.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden they couldn't do it.
Fun.
So they had another guy go in there, put in another 10 grand in renovations.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where they sit right now, is that the 2 people who were supposed to go in there couldn't go in there.
Oh, yeah.
And so now the guy's like, we go to tour it, and he's like, you guys need to open immediately. You need to have signs up, and you need to open immediately before you guys can. I need that guarantee before I will even do anything for you.
Oh, because
it's been sitting empty for like a couple years now.
Yeah.
And we were like, yes, we are hungry to open. As long as we can get our bank loan together,
Yeah.
it'll be good. So the bank actually sent us a term sheet
Okay.
so we can see all the stuff. And they're like, we would not send you this unless we weren't almost 100% sure you guys were going to get the loan.
Okay.
So we're thinking maybe next Friday, everything's going to be wrapped up.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have signed papers.
Man.
We have the intent to loan document from the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are very close. Very
So
close. It's funny when we got some feedback for the business plan,
Uh-huh.
and so we put it in with the BDC, the Business Development Bank of Canada,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "This is the best business plan we have seen in the 30 years we have worked here."
Are they blowing smoke?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
That's the thing, and it we're like, "What? What are you talking about? This is like just the basics."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's the best business plan we've ever seen," which is why we are fast tracking your loan.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, "What? Do you mean other companies are out there just winging it?" And I'm like, probably. That's
Yeah,
probably what they
probably.
were doing.
Well, then they do $20,000 in renovations and they can't open their business. So
Yeah, right.
That's probably what it is.
So that was a big, big feather in the old cap there.
Nice. I don't
pretty-
see the feather, but
No, it's there. It's metaphorical.
oh, metaphorical feather. It's not an actual feather.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't understand that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we're very close.
Nice.
Very close. I've been 3D modeling the inside of the store,
Oh,
making sure everything's going to fit, see how we're going to lay it out before we go out and buy all the stuff.
nice.
Actually 3D modeled the counters like that one of the stores was going to sell us. That's called, I can't remember what, GNS counters or display cabinets.
Mhm.
It's a Canadian store and they have all the measurements in there. So I like totally 3D modeled it in SketchUp.
Oh yeah,
Man, I got to buy SketchUp, I think. I've only got a 7-day free trial.
but you're only going to use it for like another week or two.
That's what I said last time I used it. I'm only going to use it for a week. That's all I need it for. And then all of a sudden I keep thinking about stuff I could be doing in it.
Yeah, but once it's done, what are you going to do with it?
You can still use it for like creating 3D models to like 3D print.
Oh yeah,
And there's a
okay.
lot of stuff that we kind of want to do 3D
Okay.
printing for. We got a
Yeah.
lot of ideas on how to do a lot of events and stuff like that
Okay.
where it's going to involve like 3D printing like metals and ribbons
Expensive.
and stuff. yeah, I probably will. I probably will. So there should be some big announcements coming up. I haven't rolled out the April announcement or the April newsletter for Game Hub because I've been waiting for more information to come.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully by next Friday we'll have some big announcements to
Nice.
do. And then things get busy.
Mm-hmm.
Not like they aren't already busy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, things are going to get busy.
More busier.
More busier. I'm going to be able to edit some videos together because we're going to be shooting a lot of videos coming up. Which will be good.
I see.
I kind of want to do like the main channel and then a behind the scenes channel
Oh,
so that it's just like, behind the scenes of everything being set up, everything happening, all the ideas
I
and
see.
stuff.
So there's going to be like the TikTok channel.
Yeah, it'll be a TikTok channel.
I see. For some reason, I keep seeing like some Australian game stores TikToks
Oh.
where it'll be like terrible game store customers, and they'll be like the stereotypical, like, oh yeah, I got this card I want to sell to you. Oh yeah, okay, it's not a very popular card right now. Like, what are you thinking? He's like, well, I bought it for like, 400, and you're selling it for like 500. So I'm thinking like 490.
It's like, nope,
Yeah,
that ain't happening.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing.
Yes, we oh man, we actually managed to score the latest Secret Lair drop, which is
Okay.
all Secret Lair Fallout cards.
Okay.
So alternate art for cards based on Fallout.
Okay.
So it's all like it's got the Fallout Boy doing its thing on all the cards, like the what's the character creation system?
Special.
It's special. It's just got like all those kinds of quirky knickknacks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
And
art.
what is it?
It's the Secret Lair is alternate magic cards.
Oh.
So alternate art based upon that style of cartoon.
Okay.
And it looks really cool. It's so dope. And we managed to, they sold out in 24 hours.
Mm.
And we managed to get a bunch.
Oh.
So we'll have a lot of that for sale in the store, which would
Fun.
be great.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's,
It's too far away from me, though.
it is a
I'll
little bit
never
far.
be there.
It
It's a
is,
long
it is
walk.
downtown.
It's a
You
long
have to
walk.
catch the old public,
Not gonna happen.
catch the old pedal bike.
That, maybe if there's like a space to lock up a bike, maybe then.
I mean, your preferred customer will just put it in the storage room.
Ooh, I'm a preferred customer already, and I've spent $0.
$0.
Wow,
That's what happens when you know
cool.
the store owner.
Oh wow!
You get special perks.
So that's what's gonna be like when people come in and be like, I know the owner."
and I'll be like, "Oh, do you?
Yeah,
You know me?"
yeah, exactly. That happens at not as much anymore, but it used to happen at the store where people would be like, "I'm good friends with the owner," and I'd be like, "Oh, were you at his funeral? Because he just died." "Oh, he's dead." Yeah, you're really good friends
Just
with him.
super good friends.
They'd say that all the time. "I talked to him last night. He's on a cruise right now. How did you talk to him last night?" "Oh."
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
so stupid.
Yes.
Anyways.
Yeah. Other than that, I didn't. Other than watching Fallout, I didn't really do anything.
I didn't do any gaming.
I didn't do either.
I just was not in a gaming mood like the whole last week.
With everything happening with the store, I was just scrambling. So like wanting a bunch of more information on what all this office furniture is for.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
well, it's for all of these display cases, tables, chairs,
Yeah,
and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, no doubt. No, I wasn't not gaming because I was busy. I just was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to game anything. Nothing's grabbing me, so I just ended up watching some
Oh.
stuff, which I'll talk about right now.
Do it.
I was looking at my Netflix like For You list that I made. I was like, wow, I had some of these movies on here like 6 years ago. Like they've been on the waiting to watch list for a long time.
Wow.
So I went to the list and the first 5 or 6 were all like series. I'm like, I don't want to watch a series. So I went to the first movie that came up that I hadn't watched that was on my list. And it was a movie called Old by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh.
I don't know how to say his name. It was an M. Night joint.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've watched, let me think here. I've watched The Sixth Sense. And
Yes.
I've watched Unbreakable.
Oh.
And I've watched movies he's produced as well, like Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Devil?
I don't think I've seen Devil.
Where there's people trapped on an elevator and one of them is the devil.
Nope.
Okay. And I've watched one that was about kids going to their grandparents' house and their grandparents are like crazy and it's like kind of found footagey.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of all I've seen of M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Huh.
And I know that a lot of times people complain about them. Like I've heard a lot of bad things about the one with Marky Mark in it. That it's a very bad movie. Where it's like the wind is killing people or something. I don't know.
Oh, what is that one?
It's called like The Wind or something like that. I don't even know. And then there's like the one where it's like they're like in the olden days. But then it's just like, oh, they're not in the olden days. They're just like Amish people. Anyways. Old is about this beach where people age faster than normal.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that and I was like, oh, this looks interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But it's so stupid because it's like, it should have been like a series or something like that because they make jumps to like logic jumps that are just like, why would they think that this, I mean, it's crazy. They're on this beach and people are growing old or whatever, but they'll be like, oh, this must be the reason why. Like, oh yes, there's a weird magnetic thing here. So it's attracting weird metals that are making us age faster than we normally would. And it's like, what, why is your jump of logic like this? Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not very good. It's just pretty stupid, actually. But I watched it. What do
Yes.
you're making a weird face.
Well, I'm looking at his IMDb page,
Yeah.
right? What's it? Didn't he do that one with Bruce Willis?
yeah, Unbreakable.
What's the one? Is that the no? What's the other one?
Glass?
No, the
Split.
what's the one with Haley Joel Osment?
Yeah, Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Did he do that one?
Yeah.
It's not listed on his IMDb page.
No. What are you looking at? Like produced or directed or what? Because he wrote that. one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's. I'm looking at producer. Okay,
Okay.
never mind. Yeah, there it is.
He probably didn't get a
cranked it
producer
open there.
credit on his first movie.
Yeah, technically his first movie was called Praying with Anger.
And he also did
92.
Inspector Gadget, I think, or something like that. Like he directed Inspector Gadget or
Yeah.
something like that.
Let's
Anyways,
see.
what's the The Happening? That's the Marky Mark
Happening,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I wouldn't recommend Old.
No,
No, it was dumb. I mean, I guess,
it's only got a 5.8.
yeah, it was bad. So then I was just like, I've seen The Sixth Sense, which was good,
Yes.
and I liked Unbreakable.
Mm-hmm. That one, I really liked Unbreakable.
So I'll have to see his other ones to see, because like a lot of people complain about The Happening and the other one as well.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Sixth Sense, good. Unbreakable, good. Signs. I liked the
Oh,
Signs.
Signs, right?
I liked Signs.
Signs was okay, except it also was like another stupid aliens attacking Earth, just like the War of
Yeah.
the Worlds, where it's like, oh no, water kills us, or oh no, we're dying because of bird poo. It's like the aliens that come in a spaceship wouldn't have tested, like, oh, the most bountiful element on this planet of water injures us and kills us. Maybe I'll put on a nice light jacket.
Yeah.
No, I'll go nude onto the planet. So stupid.
The Village, I thought.
Yeah, that's
was,
the one where they're in the past, isn't it?
Yeah, but also not in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that one was pretty good.
I haven't seen that one.
I've seen Lady in Water.
I haven't seen that one.
I thought that one was okay. The Happening came out next. Haven't seen that one.
No, I haven't seen
And of
that
course,
one.
The Last Airbender, which was absolute garbage.
Yeah. But he also did Split or something like
Yeah,
that.
Split and Glass, which are in the
Unbreakable trilogy.
universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either of those, and I do want to.
Yeah, I do too. Except now it's been spoiled that they're part of the Unbreakable trilogy.
Yeah.
Like Split, I think would have been incredible if I watched it at the end. Bruce Willis comes in and rescues them as the Unbreakable character.
Yeah.
My mind would have been blown, but now it's not blown.
Nah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
especially since what's his name? He's a pretty good actor that's in Split. You know, Magneto. James something McAvoy.
Oh, yeah.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Not Magneto. Professor X.
Oh, Professor X.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, my bad. Oh yeah, that's right. Because what's his name is Magneto,
Yes.
the German guy.
Yes.
And besides Old, I watched a movie called Annihilation.
Yes.
You've seen it?
I've seen it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I liked it a lot. It was by Alex Garland, I think.
I think I enjoyed it a lot. That's the one with
It's got Nicole Kidman. Yeah. What's her name? Princess Leia? No. What's her name? Padme?
No, is it Padme? Oh yeah, it is Padme.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. For some reason I was thinking God, what was her name in Speed?
In Speed.
Yeah, she was
Oh, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Yeah, I was thinking Sandra Bullock for some reason, but yeah, it's Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Yeah, and it's got Oscar Isaac in it. That's the name I was trying to think of last night. Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Garland, he did like Men,
Mm-hmm.
which was just a disturbing movie that I liked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he also did Deus Ex Machina or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Ex Machina.
Ex Machina, there you go. I haven't seen that yet. But he's also just did Civil War that just came out.
Oh, he did 28 Days Later too.
Yes. So
Okay.
lots of stuff that I enjoy. So.
Yeah.
I liked Annihilation. That was like the opposite of Old, where they would not just do these crazy jumps. They kind of like sort of deduced their way to what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Annihilation, it's like a weird alien thing has come to Earth, and it's like, why is things like this?
Yep.
And they see a bunch of things, and it makes them think of what is happening to everything in this zone to make it all weird or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like the movie leaves it on a question at the end, and not really cliffhanger, but it's just like, oh, what is happened here? Is what we think real
Mm-hmm.
or not, And I mean, Natalie Portman's a good actress. Oscar Isaacs, he's great. So I thought it was good. Everything was good in it.
Yeah.
Special effects were good. It reminded me a bit of a movie I watched called The Ruins. This was a horror movie that takes place in Mexico, where these hikers go to this ancient temple, and once they get there and they get on the temple, all the like villagers like trap them on there, and they're like, why are they attacking us? And they won't let us off this ruin. It's because there's like this like sentient plant life that lives there, but it like does it can mimic sounds, which is sort of what happens in Annihilation with the bear, where the bear is like, help me, or like screaming at them like, help. The plant kind of does that in that movie, and I know a lot of people poo-pooed it, like, oh, the plant makes a sound, and it's like, well, it's not really a plant, it's like a sentient creature.
Yes.
It's a horror movie. Come on, like, Jesus Christ, what's your fucking problem here? Like, settle down.
Yeah, get your suspension of disbelief going a little bit harder than
Exactly.
that.
And then last night, movie stream, watched Late Night with the Devil, which was like 10 out of 10, incredibly great. I would highly recommend it. You should watch it with your wife, and she will enjoy it, I think.
Very good.
It's very well done. It's got some cool special effects and everything.
Yeah.
The story's good. I don't want to spoil it.
Sounds good.
I would recommend big time. And then after that, I watched House of the Devil.
Oh.
Which was a movie from probably 15 years ago. I've seen it a bunch of times. Directed and written by Ty West. He does a bunch of horror movies. He recently did like X and Pearl and Maxine that's coming out soon. And it's just about a girl babysitting and how it doesn't go according to plan. It takes place in the 80s, so it'll fit with the House of the Devil because that takes place in the late 70s.
Nice.
So it's got the throwback vibes and, you know, oh, look at her listening on her cassette tape in her Walkman.
The old Walkman.
Yeah,
love it.
It's a good one. I like it a lot. I would highly recommend that one too. And other than that, oh, the other thing I watched was all of the Quiet on Set documentary.
Oh, yes.
I finally got to watch it.
You were looking for some place to stream that for quite some time.
Yes, and I found it on Dailymotion, but there was way too many ads.
Yeah.
And then I found it on another website that had no ads, and it was streamed perfectly fine. And I was correct.
Yeah?
Well, I remember when it came out, everyone was like, oh, this is terrible about all this bad stuff that happened on these kids shows on Nickelodeon. And Dan Schneider was in charge of it. And he's such a bad guy. And don't forget, he molested all these kids or whatever. And I was like, oh, this sounds fucked up. And then he did a interview with one of the other actors, child actors that was on his show. He has like a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And they had an interview, you know, thing, you know, to his side of the story about it. And I was like, there was not even like, he didn't even deny anything about like molesting a kid. Like usually they'll say like, I deny all these allegations of inappropriate behavior, you know, it's not true or whatever. And he didn't even address it in the thing. So I was like, is there even any implication that he molested anyone in this documentary? Because that's all I'd see on TikTok is it'd be like implying that he impregnated Amanda Bynes and she had an abortion and all this stuff, right? So I watched it. No, there's no implication that he molested anybody. The worst thing they had about him was he was a colossal asshole.
Yes.
And he would yell at people and demean them and act like a weirdo. And a weirdo in a way like scaring kids, you know?
Yeah.
Sneak up behind him and try to scare him and stuff. Or he would get female producers or whatever on set to give him a massage, which is inappropriate, but not like, in that bad of a way, you know?
Yeah.
But there were other people on the set that were like molesting, not necessarily on the set, but there was two guys that were arrested for child predation and went to jail. And one of them was, he molested Drake Bell, who was on Josh and Drake.
I don't know that
okay,
show.
it's a kid's show. Anyways, he never. This was the first time he'd ever said that he was like molested by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was groomed by this guy, right? So yeah, it was like Dan Schneider's an asshole. Don't get me wrong, but like all this implication that he was molesting kids was probably not true.
Not true.
Unless they're hiding that part in the documentary, but I wouldn't see why they would hold that back.
Yeah, I don't see why they would either.
But it was a very interesting documentary. And a lot of like, he did write, he was like the producer, main guy behind it, but he had like writers, staff, and they did do a bunch of weird bits where it was like, that's a little inappropriate on the show.
Yeah.
Where it was like implied sexuality. Like they'd have like a scene where like someone would be trying to open up some sort of snack thing. And it was like on a show with Jamie Lynn Spears on it. I don't know what the show was. And they'd be like, I just can't get it out. I can't. It's not. And they'd be squeezing it, and then they'd show like a close up of Jamie Lynn, and like the package would explode and squirt her in the face, and she'd have like this goo on her face. It's like that's a little weird. And there was another scene where there was like a doctor, and he was like rubbing this girl's foot, like, oh, that's really smooth. Like, oh, that's the smoothest foot I've ever seen. And I was like, that's a little weird, you know. I wouldn't feel comfortable if I was the actor doing that. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that.
No, that'd be too weird.
Yeah. And there was another one where they had the fake kids Fear Factor, where they had to do these Fear Factor things. And they didn't like doing it because it was like legit, like, hey, we're going to put you in a tub and pour like these live worms on you or whatever. And there was one where they covered this kid in peanut butter, and then dogs came in and licked the peanut butter off of him. And the kid's on the show, he's like, I don't like this. But the kids that were watching it loved these shows. They were huge hits and ratings gangbusters or whatever.
God, that's
so
wild.
Yeah, it was a little weird. But it was just mostly about like the way kids are used in kids shows.
Yeah.
It was interesting for sure. Yeah. And it was a lot about showing them now and how it sort of negatively affected them overall, especially kids that were like on the shows for like 1 or 2 seasons. And then it was like renewal time and they're like, no, we're not bringing you back. And then that was the end of the ride for them in Hollywood, basically. And how this like, well, that's why I'm an alcoholic now.
No kidding.
Yeah. So it was interesting. I'd recommend it anyways.
Huh.
But yeah, Dan Schneider, asshole, not child predator.
There you go.
It's just the way everything on TikTok, I'd be like, holy fuck.
Yeah, right? That's wild.
No one watched the show. It's basically what it was.
Yeah, that's usually how it is, though, isn't it? People jump at conclusions. They didn't watch the show.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's classic.
I like to try and check it out, see it on my own, because I just had the feeling.
Yeah, you got to do your own research.
It's called due diligence, which I usually try to do, but not all the time.
No, there's not enough time in the day to do diligence on everything.
Like, I've never tried to look at a whole Hassan stream, but I still think he's a colossal asshole. And he has the worst takes of all time. Even though I've been told, like, oh, he clarified immediately after that clip about what he said.
Yeah.
Because what was the one we were dunking on before where he said it was like being a streamer is harder than having a regular job or something. I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
But he immediately clarified afterwards. Like, no, I'm not talking about like an actual real job. Obviously, that's harder. I still think he's an
Obviously, idiot. Underwater welding is a lot harder than being a streamer, but
yeah. I can't remember what it was, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it, I think.
There you go.
Besides American Dad, which I'm always watching.
Yep. Yeah, we wrapped Fallout.
Yep.
Super good.
I forgot to watch that for some reason.
Highly recommend. It's one thing that I noticed about that show. It's a little bit predictable. Just a little bit. Like when everything the new show would start, I'm like, okay, this is what's gonna happen, blah blah blah, and then it does, and I'm like, okay.
I've only watched 3 episodes, so I mean, I don't think there was anything too predictable in those ones that I can remember.
Yeah, maybe not.
I'll have to.
The end episode. It was completely out of the water, though. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen at all. I don't know what's going on now. Okay. Everything's totally different.
Up is down.
Up is down. Down is up. Left is right. What is happening?
Okay.
But it was super good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Enjoyed it a lot.
I forgot to watch it. I just never fired up Prime. I think so. I didn't see it. I just like start up Netflix and be like, all right, let's see what's on here.
I did watch a movie. I just needed some fluff to watch.
Which Marvel movie did you watch?
I watched a DC movie.
Justice League?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The Snyder cut or the Joss Whedon cut?
I don't know. Whatever was
there a lot of
Netflix.
Jokes in it?
There were some jokes. They were all from The Flash.
Did they have a scene where like Aquaman falls into Wonder Woman's boobs or something like that?
No.
Okay, then that's probably the Snyder cut. Is there a scene where they sit on Wonder Woman's whip and they start saying stuff they shouldn't be saying? That might be the Whedon cut then.
That was definitely there.
That's hard to say. Was it really dark or was it more blue? Or yellow? Dark and yellow?
I don't know.
Okay. How long was it?
It was 2 hours.
I think that's the Whedon one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think the Schneider cut's like almost 4 hours long. How was it?
I tried to not let my Marvel fanboyism really taint my experience.
Yeah.
But they just do things in DC movies where they like
They take themselves too seriously.
They take themselves too seriously, and the
Yeah.
CG is just never good.
I haven't seen it, so
It's
I
just-
can't really say.
Yeah, there's a
but-
bunch of like even with Wonder Woman, they do these fight scenes and the CG's not good and they pull stuff out. They focus on like they blur the backgrounds out and focus so much on the main combat. I'm like, I don't enjoy this.
I don't
Maybe it's
know. I've
just
seen
me.
some bad Marvel CGI too.
There's still
Black
there's bad
Widow?
Marvel
Ooh.
CGI,
Wowee.
but yeah, everything seems not real kind of in DC movies. Like there's a whole like they don't try and make things look real. They try and make things look as comic booky as possible, I think.
Yeah.
And one thing that I really didn't enjoy was anytime there was a big bad guy or a big good guy on the screen, it was just like, okay, well, their microphone, let's just take the bass and put it to 3,000
Oh, yeah.
and we'll just leave it like that.
Yeah.
Because like whenever Batman's talking, it's like, oh my God,
Well,
why am I
that's-
shaking in my seat?
That's because he's supposed to have some sort of voice adjuster on him or
Yeah.
something like that in the bat suit.
I still just turn the bass down a little bit. You
Yeah.
don't need to be that big and booming. Even the main bad guy, I was like, oh my God, why is he so bassy?
Steppenwolf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just
Steppenwolf.
like
Well, he's an
so
alien.
much bass.
He's an alien, dude. They got deep voices.
It's so deep.
yeah.
It's like sub-low.
Yeah. Maybe you just need to adjust your speakers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like a big boomy movie, but man, when their voices are big and boomy like that, it's like Batman talking to Steppenwolf and just like vibrating all over the place. What is going on?
Sounds
this
pretty
is
good.
this is vocal. This is a
Yeah.
conversation that
Not
they're
a battle
having.
scene right here.
Yeah, there's no fighting going on yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I want to see it. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Kind of, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay-ish. You can tell that it came out after like some of the Avengers team up movies.
Oh, well, that's okay. So that means that's the Joss Whedon one because Dan Snyder, is that his name? Dan Snyder? I can't remember. It's Snyder. Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Why
Yeah,
did I say Dan Snyder?
I don't know.
Zack Snyder, his daughter committed suicide
Oh,
while he was working on it. So he didn't finish it off and they had Joss Whedon come in
Mm-hmm.
to like reshoot and do it. That's why it was all these Marvel-y jokes.
Yeah,
Because there was like no joking in the Zack
yeah.
Snyder version. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes. It feels just like they took elements from, but I mean, it's comic book stuff, so I can't really say that. It's
part
like,
of that's
yeah.
part of the reason why the movie didn't work as good as it should have is because of that. They had Joss Whedon come in and tinker with it because Zack Snyder didn't finish it off, basically.
Mhm.
So he came straight from doing like the Avengers or whatever he had done
yeah,
because that was after Marvel fired him, I think, because it came out he's a bit of a douche.
a bit of a douche.
And he would like bully women and stuff like
Ah,
that on his sets.
don't do that. Don't do that.
So they hired him to do that to give it the Marvel touch.
Mhm.
And it wasn't really written or originally directed to be that way.
No.
Because if you look at like Batman versus Superman or like the first Superman Zack Snyder did, there's no jokes in those movies. They're a little too
Yeah.
serious.
And the jokes were terrible,
Yeah, they're not the best.
except for anything involving the Flash. All his jokes were good.
Too bad he's such a douche.
Is he?
Yeah, he got like you don't want to go into the depths of the Ezra Miller douchery. He's such a weirdo, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. His parts in the movie were great, I found.
Like the last Flash movie was like almost not brought out because of him.
Oh yeah.
Like because he's such a douche.
Is he the guy that was fighting with Dream?
I don't know, maybe. He was like breaking into people's homes in Hawaii and like just acting like a real
That's
schizo
weird.
dude.
Why was Ezra removed of the Flash?
Yeah. So, and now that James Gunn is in charge of DC, like he's not going to be the Flash anymore.
Yeah.
Like even what's his name? Do you remember when DC said like, "Oh, we're bringing back Henry Cavill to be Superman," and then like a week later, James Gunn was like, "Actually, no, we're not doing that." They put James Gunn in charge of DC, and he's like, "No, he's not Superman." After Warner Brothers announced it,
Yeah.
pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
I started what's the Rock one?
oh, but Black Adam,
Black Adam, yeah.
Yeah.
I started Black Adam
that's got to be terrible.
and I was like,
It's got to be terrible.
I think I've had my fill of DC right now.
I think it's that was bad because of The Rock, and he had too much creative control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Because he wouldn't release the movie or let them do the movie because they wanted to do like they didn't want to have Superman in it at the end. Because I think at the end Superman comes down and is like, "I'm watching you," and they were like, "No, we're not having Superman in it." And he's like, "No, it has to be Superman. I'm like Superman's counterpart. Like that's how I'm The Rock." You know? Which sucks because there's a lot of other cool characters in that movie that I'd like to see. Like, what's his name? James Bond is Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Goldeneye James Bond.
Goldeneye James Bond?
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan?
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Dr. Fate, and like Dr. Fate is cool as fuck. And yeah, there's a lot of cool things in there that I would like, but I'm The Rock, man.
The good old Rock.
I've been off the Rock train for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I liked him when he was like wrestling.
Oh, he's back to wrestling, so.
Well, he had to because he got a lot of negative publicity,
Yeah.
especially during the whole Malibu fires or something like that, where he and Oprah were asking people to donate to their funds or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, why don't you fucking pay for it, you bitch ass motherfucker?
Yeah. Do it. Just
Yeah.
pay for it
Anyways,
with your millions. Yeah, DC movies so far.
I think going forward, you're gonna like them more, just with the James Gunn being in charge,
probably.
you know.
Probably.
But also, they're doing it where they're having like there's the DC universe, but then there's the other movies that are outside of that. So like, there's gonna be another like Robert Pattinson Batman movie.
Mhm.
There's another Joker movie. They're not part of the DCU. They're like
Separate standalones,
things. They don't all have to be merged in, which is good because the Pattinson Batman movie is rad. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my god, there's no jokes in that one for sure, but it's so good. He's the I've said it 1,000 times.
the
He's the
greatest
world's
detective.
greatest detective in that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I haven't seen Joker, but I want.
No,
to.
I haven't either.
I'm sure. It's great.
I
And the trailer for the new one looked good, except Lady Gaga's in it, which is bad. But other than that,
I liked what's his face as Batman?
what, Robert Pattinson?
No,
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Eh.
I was like, oh, Ben, you look good.
Eh.
You look good in this movie.
I just know he has that crazy back tattoo whenever I see him, so I just can't take him seriously. I'm sorry. Thinks he's Yakuza or something like that. I don't know.
I should get a crazy Yakuza back tattoo.
Well, it would fit you a little bit more than Ben Affleck.
Just a tiny little bit.
Yeah. You can only get half of your back, though. You go left or right or top and bottom?
Yeah, I'll just get
I'll let you choose.
one's half sleeve.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds
That way
good.
it's only half.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good to me.
You know what else sounds good?
I don't know.
Patreon.com/StreamVoidPod. That's right. You can get in there. You can support this podcast with your hard-earned dollar reduced for just as little as $1 a month. You can get access to our bonus content, our pre-show content, our post-show content, and even you get this podcast early
Wow.
on
That's
Sunday.
incredible.
That's today when we're recording this podcast in the beautiful
Wow.
Purple Room Studios.
Is this room beautiful?
It used to be.
Okay.
I need to clean it up. I need to-
Decrepit Purple Room
Decrepit
Studios.
Purple Room Studios. It's so messy right now.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I distracted you.
I know. Like, where am I in this
You've
pitch
already
here?
said you get it early and ad free.
Yeah, early and ad free.
And it's the only way that you can support us.
The only way.
Yes.
Because we haven't streamed on this channel more to get.
Oh, that's right.
To get
That's right. We were going to do that.
our affiliate back.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to be like, no, you already gave it up. You
Yeah,
can't have
you can't
it
have it back. Please, can we have it back?
Please. We didn't know.
We didn't know you guys were going to change the rules again.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, patreon.com/StreamVoidPod. And big thanks to all of our current Patreons.
Yes,
you guys
sir.
help keep this podcast going.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're a legend.
Yes, indeed.